Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to my little first impressions video of Emergency 2014. So this title was released a couple of weeks ago, the 15th of November, to little fanfare. In fact, actually, I don't think there was any real fanfare about it. It sort of just appeared, as I've noticed some of the games I really enjoy actually tend to do. Yeah, anyway, maybe that says something, I'm not sure. Anyway, so Emergency 2014, released a couple of weeks ago. So this title here is the latest in it's quite a bit of an established line, this one. So this one's from Deep Silver Studios and Quadriga Games. The series dates back to '98, and this is just the latest incarnation of it. But to call it the latest incarnation is probably doing it more justice than it probably deserves. So essentially, actually, all this is just a mission pack. It's just an expansion. It's an expand alone, is what it is. So what you get? So the emergency. So it's been going, as I said, it's been going for a few years. Known as sort of emergency, which is simply known as emergency or fight for life. Also known as 911 first responders to our American cousins. Yeah, it's been kicking around for a while. Then the Emergency 2012 came out, and essentially since then, 2013 and 2014 are just simply mission packs that come for that one. So to make it really obvious for that, if we jump over here to campaign, there it is. So you've actually got all the 2012 content, the 2013 content, and the 2014 content. So, and to recognise this, this is available as a update of 2012 or 2013 for existing customers, or just buy it as a whole pack and you get everything before it included as well. So there you go. That's pretty much it. All right. I think I've probably waffled a bit there. So let's just run through the quick basics while we've got the menu here. All right. So obviously you can see we've got the campaign. You've got 3 major campaigns, one for each of the releases. So you've got your 2012, which is basically bad, disastrous weather throughout Europe. 2013 explores volcanic sort of activity, tectonic activity and its repercussions through Europe. While 2014 is about the asteroid Caligula, I'm pretty sure it is. And basically just going through like end of the world stuff and, you know, sort of bits of the meteor aura sort of coming through and showering down. Yeah, you've basically got to, so throughout all of these, sort of set it up, you've got to respond to fires, you've got to respond to all sorts of fun things with that one. So you've got fires, heart attacks, you've got riots, you name it, it's pretty much there. So you have a wide range of forces to rely on, and we'll have a look at some of those in just a moment. But let's get going. So there is so you got your campaign modes, you've got your multiplayer. Now the multiplayer for this, I did try and do some for last night, but it seems that there's pretty much no one playing multiplayer, so I don't think this is a big, huge multiplayer title. I haven't seen the community. I created games out there for about an hour and nobody even joined. Nobody even popped up on the servers. So yeah, I don't think this is a big title. Essentially the multiplayer is you choose your stream, and it's a co-op is essentially what it is. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. Free play is a cool little one they got in there. Essentially you have guardianship over a city, sorry, just pardon, I can't talk today. I've really got to do something about, like, you know, getting my diction right when I'm doing these videos. Anyway, so the free play, essentially, you control the emergency service of a city, you buy your vehicles as you need them, and you sort of do everything from a heart attack to a street fight to a riot to asteroids hitting your vehicles in traffic. So always fun to watch vehicles blow up from asteroid strikes, always fun. And of course usual achievements and sort of fun stuff like that. Everything again broken down based on the what it is for your sort of services in each of the games. So there you go. Alrighty, we'll jump in quickly into our options menu before we look at some gameplay today. So it is It's a real-time strategy, so no FOV styles or anything like that. It is fairly basic. So you've got your general sort of generic options, scroll speed, tutorial, tooltips, all that kind of stuff, like holdover stuff. Graphics, as I said, it's pretty much low, medium, or high. That's pretty much about it. Nothing really else. Basic screen resolution changes. Sound, again, just your basics, music, sound effects, and your video. So for your FMV sequences and your vehicle, this is a new one, the vehicle text. I'm pretty chuffed with this one. So you can actually rebrand what appears on the side of your vehicles. So my medical emergency vehicles are part of the Royal Flying Doctor Service, and what should we do? 5 was. Let's say let's do RFS, Rural Fire Service. How about that? Yeah, there you go. So basically you do that, you apply it, essentially just coats your vehicles with a little decal. Takes a few minutes for all it updates and puts all those on there, and hopefully we'll be able to see all these markings when we show you some gameplay in just a moment. So there you go. Alright, so as I said, settings, fairly basic, fairly simple, but there you go. Alright, on to the fun stuff. Let's have a look at some gameplay. Alright. So as this is, I am looking at 2014, not its earlier predecessors. Let's have a quick look at 2014. Alright, so as I was saying, the overarching story for this one is that it is, the asteroid Caligula is on a collision course with Earth, and so bits of it are starting to break off and land and do all sorts of nasty things to your fair cities. But the one cool kind of thing which it does have, which I did kind of like, is the prologue. Let me just show you. Let me just show you. Let's go. Let's start this one. All right. So this one's actually set in. So the rest of it's set modern day, but this one is set in 1890. So you got like nice, and there's the asteroid coming down there, and bang! Oh, that poor horse. That poor horse.
It is the year 1890.
Anyway.
The asteroid Caligula is crossing the Earth's orbit. It passes so close that small fragments of it fall to the Earth as meteorites. One of these meteorites has landed on a farm in the Rhine province of the German Empire, causing great destruction. Several fires have broken out. Extinguish all fires and prevent them from spreading to the city nearby.
So, in the emergency series, essentially what it is that you are the commander of emergency services in a town and a region, and you have to sort of control and dictate where they all go. So it's a lot about just your strategy without blowing stuff up, or kind of blowing stuff up. But it's very much about micromanaging. Now, there is no difficulty slider in this. There is no easy, medium, hard, classic, impossible, Iron or anything like that. It is just simply, it just is what it is. You can make things easy for yourself, or you can make things hard for yourself, depends on what you do. So, let's have a quick look, and as we go into our beautiful sepia effect for our 1890s thing. Also, this game is very unforgiving. You get something wrong but don't get it right, then you are stuffed. So, alright, as you can see, our meteorite has pretty much set fire to our little farm. So our aim is that we've got to stop everything from spreading. Alright, so let's go through and let's start. So we've got water tenders on a horseback there. So let's get those starting to put out some fires.
Yes, sir.
Alright, we've got a third one here somewhere, don't we? Yes, there we are. There's our third one. Alright, so let's get started.
Water tenders and firefighters are available
one of the things
for this
you
operation.
do, you be very careful as well, because he will die in a second if we're not careful. Yep,
Keep an eye
there
on
he
your
goes.
units in hazardous situations and monitor their condition. Look
That
out
wasn't
for
a good
status
start, was it, folks?
indications. Never send your unit members to the immediate vicinity of a large fire if they are already in a bad condition.
So FYI, folks, yeah, your guys can get injured and die, and in this one at least, if they do, you are stuffed. You have to wash, rinse, and repeat
It is the year
again.
1890. The
So,
asteroid Caligula
after that
is
rather
crossing
embarrassing
the Earth's
moment,
orbit.
let's
It
try this
passed-
again, shall we? As I said, this game is very unforgiving. If you get something wrong, then it will come back and bite you in the ass. So, very important for you to pay attention to that. Alright, so let's try not and do that again. So obviously our main objective is to stop all the fires from spreading to the town. So let's start as we did before.
Consider
Let's
it
hang
done.
you up there.
Of course.
Now see if we can get you to not go straight into fires and sit around the back there. Alright. Now, with your firefighters, you can equip them with various different things, so fire extinguishers, axes, whatever. So what we want to do is probably want to give them some axes, so we can start building a fire break.
Large-scale fires and cool down objects in danger of catching fire. You can equip the firefighters with axes, for example, to chop down trees which are not yet
Right, so let's.
You can also equip them with handheld
guys with axes. So they'll go up there to the little attendant vehicle, and we'll leave this guy here so we can start pulling those things away. Alright, so now that we've got our axes, let's chop down some trees.
Of course.
And we'll get you moving in a bit closer. Yeah, as I said, it can spiral out of control very quickly. So you want to be getting on top of stuff as soon as you can.
Yes, sir. Of course.
So you sort of dousing some flames and stuff there. Alright, we've got our axeman madly chopping away there. Timber! Yeah, bad pun? Yeah, probably very bad pun. Alright. So, let's go.
Now, water tenders to cool down objects in danger of catching fire. Yes, sir. Fires will then not be able to spread to them. After chopping down a tree, you can use a firefighter to move it away. In this way, you can prevent the tree from catching fire. If the fire reaches the trees you have felled. Yes, sir.
Okay, so, there you go. So, as I said, this is very much a game about micromanagement, and just trying to control the situation. So just like in real life, you do have to sort of try and keep everything calm and controlled, and really sort of just keeping an eye on what's going on around you. So just being aware of your surroundings. So very, very important. Just to keep it as it comes and try not to freak out too much. Alright, so let's keep building our fire break here. We're sort of just taking some spot fires, so yeah, look, it's not bad. Now, one of the things, just while we madly do all this, overall as a game experience, if you had played it before, then you'll probably, we'll pick this up, because yeah, it's not bad. But for those who haven't started out before, look, if you want something different in the real-time strategy genre, this is a good place to. This is not a bad little way of doing things, because it is something different. It's not your usual sort of StarCraft and kind of thing. You know, it does actually offer something a little bit different, which is nice to see. Sometimes I think that things get a little sort of like left behind, and we've got a guy here. I'm not doing anything. Let's see what we can do to get you to do something. It's nice to see something a little different that is going to sort of still pick an interest, and it's nice to see a bit of more strategy kicking around as well. But at the same time, it does have its drawbacks. So one of the things I find is, and this was the same with its predecessors, so 2012 and 2013, I found that the interface is a little clunky. It just doesn't seem to make sense, as it were. It just seems to sort of, it just is, and I think sometimes that, yeah, there were a lot of improvements they could have. They had a golden opportunity basically with it moving into 2014 with a new edition to actually sort of fix some of the clunky problems, like trying to select stuff. It just misses the mark half the time. It really does. Things just don't feel natural when you're actually sort of doing it, and it's not about rebinding keys or anything like that. No, it's simply about the fact that you're trying to select something, and it just doesn't select. It just sort of sits there and looks at you and goes, "You wanted to do something?" It's like, yes, I did want to do something.
Yes, sir.
Why aren't you doing it? And simple little things like the pathing, the AI pathing is just, it's monstrous, it's useless, it is freaking useless, it really is. The AI is dumb, it is so dumb, it is not funny. And yeah, I just feel that they had a golden opportunity, as I said, with the release of a new one to actually go, yeah, you know what, let's try something different. But they didn't. They just sort of just went, yeah, let's just whack a few more missions in there and charge people a shit ton of money for it. And it's like, well, that's not how it should be, guys. It shouldn't be like that. It should be, let's do something. Yeah, let's improve on what we've got. You know, that's what sequels and expansions and stuff are supposed to be. Let's improve on what we've got. Let's, you know, but maybe that's the change in the market. I don't know. So there you go. So look, this is pretty cool. Anyway, so I think you've probably seen enough of our little sepia sort of first mission here. That's actually also another nice thing. It is a living world. So yeah, you've got birds and, you know, pedestrians and bystanders and all that kind of fun stuff in there. So yeah, it's pretty well done. I do like it. Now, what we might do is we might skip out of this one. And let me go show you some more stuff. So I think what we might do is we might show you some of the wider variety of vehicles that we have. So, alright, let's have a quick look here. Let's pick up, what mission shall we do? So yeah, that was probably what we just looked at, and then the first real mission of the campaign is the same city, same place, you get another meteor strike and you've got to deal with it. Just with modern day vehicles. Now I might show you this one, because this one's a good one. It shows you some of the different vehicles that you have. And it also shows off my other major problem with it. So you probably guess from the title. So let's have a look at the FMV here. So having the full motion video is pretty cool. Like it's a nice way to break up the story, and it tells a good tells the background quite well. It's quite fun. And there we are, folks. Bam! There goes the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Has been hit by a meteorite.
So this brings me to my other problem with this game.
Have been injured, and
every mission is like this. Every mission plays out like it's out of a freaking Michael Bay film. If I want to play a game based on a Michael Bay film, I will go and buy Transformers and play that. Every mission happens somewhere in some iconic location. Like, you know, I kind of get why they do it, but at the same time, I kind of really just annoys the proverbial out of me. It really does. You know, you've got this mission, you know, the Leaning Tower of Pisa has been wiped out by an asteroid, or you've got the Pantheon in Athens is surrounded by a giant forest fire, or the Eiffel Tower has been, you know, blown over by a typhoon, and there's a riot happening at its steps, or the Tower Bridge in London has been hit by a fuel tanker. You know, it's like all I'm watching is I'm just watching a freaking Michael Bay film. It's not what I wanted. It's not what I signed up for. You know, I get that it's about, you know, giving the audience something and all that kind of fun stuff, but seriously, guys, like, it's just, yeah, nah. There are better ways to do it. Alright, so let's get on quickly with this one. As I said, these missions are rather unforgiving, and already pretty much if you don't do something straight away, you're stuffed. So we'll just have a quick look at the vehicles while we're doing this. So your firefighters, they can be equipped with various things. So you got your fire extinguishers, hoses, jaws of life. So yeah, you got to get people out of vehicles. Jump cushions, so you can save people from falling buildings. Chainsaws to clear out all this kind of trees and stuff, and like better than the axes, I'm sure. Or just gloves, so they can sort of, you know, pick up wounded persons and bring them back. You got your paramedic doctors, so you got your emergency doctors, you've got paramedics, ambulances, doctors' vehicles, search and rescue dogs, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so that they handle it there. Various vehicles, you got, you know, air ambulances, you know, which come with paramedic. So there's also police as well, this nifty little thing tool, fire drone, and sort of your civil engineering. So it covers off your major things. So you've got your medical services, your fire services, you've got your police services, which include sort of SWAT, you know, sort of special weapons and tactics, and armed police and stun grenades and just arresting people or controlling traffic, directing traffic. And you got your civil engineering guys, so like your tow trucks, your heavy debris removal guys. So it really covers across everything, and it's a nice spectrum. And as I said, it is all about controlling stuff, and it is down to the micromanaging. You've got to equip them with different equipment and stuff like that. Trapped people under the rubble. Anyway, so what do I think? Well, yeah, as I was saying, I have my issues with it. I do. I really do. I think one of my main things is that it plays out. It just plays out like a freaking Michael Bay film, as I said. You know, I'm not here to look at what everything's, you know, did everything. Yeah, I don't see why every mission should be involving some great landmark. You know, why can't I just save the backstreets of Berlin? Why do I have to say the Brandenburg Gate from being burnt down? Like, you know, it is. Yeah, as I said, I get why they do it, but at the same time, I think that it kind of then loses something at the same time. So, yeah, what can you do? The other problem, as I said, folks, I have a problem with the interface. Just the way it selects sometimes, like it doesn't allow you to, like, for example, if I want to select this fire guy and this truck, I can't do that. I have to band select them and hope I don't band in, you know, a couple of the other guys. So that's quite frustrating. These are those little things that I think that were clunky enough in the old, like in the original ones, but have just been made absolutely worse. Like, well, not so much worse, but just simply weren't fixed, and that's just really sad. Like, it's really, really sad. Why can't they just do something about it? Like, it's, yeah. Anyway, so would I get it? Look, if you've already got it, you're probably going to get it just for the extra missions and the new content that it does bring. There are a couple of new vehicles
we have just been
for
informed
as well.
That another meteorite is about to hit the
missions
area. We
are challenging for sure.
Evacuate that contain fires as quickly as possible.
That will happen a
As
lot
a precaution, you should cool down buildings in danger of catching fire to prevent the fire from spreading. Deploy the firefighting drone to see whether the unit members may be standing
it is
too
a
close to
very
fire.
challenging. It does require you to think on your feet and think quickly and do what you need to do, and you need to do it fast. Like, you know, for example, this operation here, this one will fail if you let the fires get out of control. It will also fail if any civilians die. It will, yeah, it's got a multitude of failure things. So, and missions will throw you curveballs, and yeah, you just roll with the way it goes. So it does make you a better sort of tactician for it. So some days just get, I won't say it gets easier, but you can see where stuff's going to happen and stuff like that. So there you go. So folks, look, would I get it?
Listening.
Look, if you're looking for something different from
meteorite
just your normal
impact,
strategies
extinguish
and, you
all
know,
fires.
just your normal
Treat
sort
all
of
casualties if
real-time
necessary
or
and
turn-based
take them to
strategies, you want something that doesn't necessarily involve just, you know, mass building an army and sending it forth on the field of battle and seeing what happens. And want something to do different? You know what? It's not bad. It's got its problems. So buyer beware. It does have its issues. You will experience a lot of control interface issues. You'll click on something and it just won't select, and you'll be clicking away at it and you'll go, why aren't you selecting? You'll move the screen a millimeter and then suddenly everything's selectable again. It's just, yeah, look, it's buggy. I'll call it as it is. It's buggy. And I haven't fixed those bugs. They're the same bugs that were in 2012, that were in 2013 again, and here we are 2014, and it's still there. So, would I get it? If you want something different, absolutely. Would I get it at full price of $29.99 or your original equivalent? No, I wouldn't. I'd wait. Steam sales are coming up. Look, grab it on the Steam sales. I wouldn't be getting it now. For those of us who do already have 2012, 2013, you do get a pretty hefty discount on this to upgrade it to 2014. It's a pretty damn deep discount, which makes it a little bit more bearable as well. So, yeah, anyway, there you go. Well, folks, that's been my little first impressions video of Emergency 2014. It's not a bad little title. Look, if you're just into something different, have a bit of fun with it. It's not bad, but my honest suggestion is don't get it full price. Get it when it's on special. Well, folks, what I'll do is I will be popping a link down below to the page on Steam so you can check it out for yourself. Also be popping a link through to the developers, Deep Silver Studios, and the official website. Well, folks, thank you very much for watching my first impressions video of Emergency 2014. Hope you've learned a bit about it and sort of been able to help you guide you to make an informed decision about your purchase choices if you wish to. Thanks again very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we will see you next time. Bye for now. Alright folks, so thank you very much. Take care everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this video, if you want to know more about it. Don't forget to post down in the comments for any feedback that you want to put down. Put it in the comments down below. Alright, thanks folks. You take care, safe skies to all, and we shall see you next time. Bye for now.